We Jews are a strange people. It's unbelievable what we've been accused of. Some call us communists, and some call us capitalists. Some say we're cheap, and some say we're philanthropic. Some say we're globalists, and some say we're socialists. Some we're humanitarians, others that we're clannish. So, what is the story? And the answer is yes, as reflected in this week's Torah portion. This week's Torah portion brings to an end the building of the tabernacle that the Jews had in the wilderness as they traveled on their way to the promised land. This tabernacle was built with funds that the Jews themselves had been asked to give. This was the first building campaign in Jewish history. And you know what? It was the most successful one. The Jews gave more than they had to. Listen to these words in the Torah portion. And Moses commanded, and they announced in the camp, saying, let no man or woman do any more work for the offering for the holy. And the people stopped bringing. The people were told, you've shown your love of God and your fervor and your belief in him more than we had ever expected. You're to be congratulated. But enough. You've done more than your share for God. Nice. But last week when Moshe did not come down in time from Mount Sinai, the Jews also gave their money. What did they give their money for? For a golden calf, for an idol. Last week for an idol, this week for God. How do you explain that? The Jerusalem Talmud points it out. Sivan Rachav Meir, in her wonderful book on the Parsha, quotes the Jerusalem Talmud. It is impossible to understand this nation. The same people, when asked to donate to the golden calf, they do so. When asked to donate to the tabernacle, they do so. How do you explain that? Well, lots of explanations have been given over the centuries, but modern times perhaps has provided a significant explanation as well. It's all found in a word called groupthink. It was in 1972, a social psychologist, Irving Janis, coined this term groupthink, which he describes when a group makes a faulty decision because group pressure leads to the formation of mental deficiency, reality testing, and moral judgment. Sometimes we get so caught up in the crowd that we end up making decisions that we wouldn't have made on our own. Think back to those movies and videos of those rallies that used to take place in Germany in the late 1930s when Hitler came to power. William Shirer, in the book The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, describes one such rally he witnessed. Hitler addresses a crowd of brown-shirted Germans. There in the floodlit night, jammed together like sardines in one massive formation, the little men of Germany shed their individual souls and minds under the mystic lights, and at the sound of the magic words of the Austrian, they were merged completely in the German herd. They got caught up in the crowd. You know how much the crowd can affect us? One more book and one more quote. book Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, the author writes, whether the question is what to do with an empty popcorn box in a movie theater, how fast to drive on a certain stretch of highway, or how to eat the chicken at a dinner party, the actions of those around us will be important in defining the answer. The actions of those around us. We saw what that can do on January the 6th. And it's going to take a long time for our country to undo it. All too many of us are caught up in the crowd. We either love them or hate them, liberals or conservatives, Republicans or Democrats. Groupthink, without allowing us to think on our own that maybe there's little truth there and maybe there's something wrong here. But we just delete from our minds what our parents used to tell us as children. Make sure you hang out with the right crowd. And who's the right crowd? Margaret Thatcher said it for all of us. Don't follow the crowd. Let the crowd follow you. Shabbat Shalom.